This is Tim Wilson with only a copy of OBS and a built-in laptop microphone. This is another video for the Nomad Funnelhacker. I have a lot of graphics tools that I have saved as I've made my journey as a funnel builder, and I don't use all of them all the time, but I do like to go through them from time to time to try them out and just remind me what they do. And this is one of them. It was a site called getwave.io, and it still has that URL. But if you look at the top, you see that his is now part of Haikei.app. I hope I pronounced that right. But let's go ahead and check this site out because it actually is pretty useful. Okay, this is the Haikei website. And let's look at the pricing to start off with. So right now, they have a basic plan that's free. And in the future, they're going to have a pro plan. That's not available right now. So right now, our basic plan, we get access to 15 generators, basic generator functions, export as SVG or PNG formats, unlimited SVG downloads. So I don't know if that means that PNG downloads are limited. Okay, here we go. Unlimited SVG downloads and unlimited medium resolution PNG downloads. That's kind of interesting because the SVG format being a vector format versus a pixel format is generally considered higher quality. And then you get 9 basic canvas templates. So, as I said, as of this date of April 11th, 2025, sounds like a decent deal. Now, if they're going to reduce things on the basic plan with the kind of the pro plan, it's impossible to say, but we can only go with what we have right now. So let's go to the generators. And you can see that you have a whole bunch of different generators here to choose from, to use for backgrounds or create images or whatever you want to do. Let's take a look at a few of them. So we have the blob. We click on Start Designing, and we have your basic blob background. So we got some ratios here we can choose from. You can choose solid or outline for this, position, color, shape controls, and then download. So let's go ahead and this being a blob, generally a lot of times the blob we're going to have a white background. Then if we come to the fill, let's make that a blue color. And then let's look at our shape controls. So we got complexity. And I'm not sure what these icons represent. Let's click on and find out. Okay, apparently it just moves the slider by steps versus manually moving the slider with your mouse or your touchpad, which you can do as well. You have contrast, which just really changes the shape some more. Then you have size, so you can go big or you can go small. And then you'll be able to download your creation as you want. Now you notice they have one of these famous little dice icons as well that you can just click on and let it ride. So apparently the dice doesn't change the color, it just changes the shape settings. Let's try the wave again. We have some basic controls. We have more controls here. We got solid or an outline. We got different wave shapes we can choose. Direction. And we have our colors. Let's go ahead and again make that background white. And let's choose a different color here. Let's go with this green here. All right, and then again, we have shape controls. And our dice button. So a perfectly good wave generator. Now this next one is actually going to be useful for a lot of people that don't like normally dealing with graphics editors, but do want to have a gradient background. So we have a very simple gradient background maker. So we just pick 2 colors. Let's go ahead and change this up some. Let's go with orange. And then let's go with, let's try this red. Now, if you notice on this one, you don't have any shape control, but you do have the dye still. So you can use that until you get a blurry gradient background you like. So that's actually going to be, so I would say for people that just want a gradient background, this is probably a pretty good deal. Next, we have our circle scatter. Again, we can choose how we want to do that, which solve outline, choose our colors. Let's go with white. Because probably, 80% of the time you're going to have a white or near white background. We'll make a blue color. So we can adjust our count. Of course, we have the contrast, which is just going to move things around. And of course, our size as well. And we can download, or we can roll the dice a few times. So now we have the blob scene, which is basically a couple of blobs on the corner. Let's go ahead and make that white. I'm probably going to make the background white on all these just to add some definition. Let's go and choose, I don't know, let's go with this blue here. All right, and we have this position control. So that just changes which corners it's on. Something called color steps. Okay, so it gets sort of a wave effect going on there. Complexity. Contrast. Of course, contrast is sort of variations. And the gap. So we can make the gap closer or make it further apart. And we can roll the dice. Although rolling the dice doesn't seem to do much here. For some reason. How about layered waves? So like our wave, but we have several of them now. Again, we have the direction control. Background, we will make white. We will go with this light blue color. Actually, no, that one background still. Oops. So wave color, you have 2 choices here. So you're basically going to specify a range. So let's go with this blue here. And then let's go with that more purple blue there. Actually, it's not enough definition. Let's go with that. Should have reverted them, but oh well. And you have color direction. That will change things up some. I think I like that one better. Or maybe that one. Now that one. And you have your balance, which is going to adjust your height. The wave count. Make it simpler or more complex. Your contrast, which is just going to change things up some. And your overlap, which is going to control the degree to which things overlap. Or you can just roll the dice. All right. So that's our layered waves. And below that is we have stacked waves. So it looks like this is going to cover your whole canvas here. You only have one color choice. You have directional choice. And then you have color direction as well. Below that, we have our wave count. So you can go nuts or make it very minimalist. Complexity, of course, it just is a variation. Contrast is a variation. Or roll the dice, which doesn't seem to really do much in this case. So sometimes the dice works, sometimes it doesn't seem to do too much. We have a blob scatter, which is sort of a variation of these circles. So, in fact, it may be the circles only just set on outline and give them some more thickness on the line. So, have our count, contrast, size. So with the size, it seems like when it squeezes the picture, you'll get a lot more of whatever you have there, no matter how few you see in the normal sizing. And we got some shape controls that are separate. I'm not that crazy about this look, but we're just looking at things here. Or you can roll the dice, which works on that one. All right, low poly grid. It's basically sort of this, I guess what you call pyramid kind of shapes on a screen. Again, you can choose your colors. Let's go ahead and choose that color there. Okay, that made things go nuts. Okay, so we got the same color. That's our problem. Yeah, you're going to have to be a little more picky on your color on this one. All right, I like that. That one's pretty good. All right, again, you have some shape controls. Oh, you have this thing for your borders as well. Looks like you can make the border how you want. That's pretty cool. It's kind of a nice little effect there with that white, which you could change that to a different color if you wanted to. And then you have shape controls for resolution, which basically just makes it more complex. And then you have distortion, which again is just a variation. Or you can roll the dice, which worked on this one. We have layered peaks, which is just kind of variation on the waves we saw before. And stack peaks, which is another variation on the wave concept. Have a polygon scatter, which is sort of a variation on the circles. We have layered steps, which is sort of just a square variation on the waves. And then we have a symbol scatter. Let's look at that. So our symbol scatter, we have a choice between the star or the Y. And choose solid or outline. And choose color. We'll make the background white as we have been on everything. We'll go with, say, this red. And then we have our count, contrast, size, or we can roll the dice and get some variations that way. I think I like the stars a little bigger on that. So another way you can get star background, or of course you have this Y configuration. I don't know. I don't like the Y as much unless you could like interlink them, which I don't think you can. I don't see that would be all that useful. So that's pretty much it on the site Haikei.app, just sort of overview of what you can do with it. So it's basically useful for making these sort of backgrounds if you want to do that. I just thought it was kind of a cool little thing, just because mainly, more than anything else, this Blurry Gradient tool. And that really is it for the review and demonstration of the Haikei.app website. It's app.haikei.app. That's kind of a weird URL. And I'll leave a link to that in the description. So my name is Tim Willis. I'm a certified ClickFunnels funnel builder. I make tutorial and demonstration video on ClickFunnels, funnel building, web page design, and tools like Haikei.app that we can use in all of the above. That's the video for now. I'll talk to you later.